family day for Jess's birthday. We're gonna go pick blueberries in Murchison. So, try and catch some footage of Jess's birthday blueberry picking. We just finished breakfast and we're headed off to get some exercise. We made it to the blueberry picking. We're ready to pick blueberries. You're gonna need it. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna need something cold. They have a lot of neat stuff in the little shop here. All right, around here and get us some buckets, and we're gonna play out in that big old field over there to pick blueberries. Tony's all decked out in a cowboy hat, so he's got his shady spot. Daddy's got his hat on.
Now I'm starting to regret not wearing
Trinity's starting to regret not wearing her hat.
Like, ow.
What time is it?
We are walking to the very end, but we already have a couple of handfuls of really good ones. Come on, Tony.
There's a giant bush over there.
Yeah, but it's probably been picked because it's too far up here. So let's go to the very end and then we'll get all the fresh ones. They're really super good. They're really sweet. Nice and tiny. Look how big this is. Blueberries as far as the eye can see. He said the blackberries are out of season like by 3 weeks, but we'll see if we can find some of those too. We've partnered up with the children's. He's got a bucket and she's got water, and Tony has a water not well. Oh, she's got both of. They got both the buckets. We're gonna have to catch up, Tony. They got all the buckets.
Come on, Tony.
Come on.
Tony.
Oh,
Come on, buddy.
that's a hike. I'm not used to this. We definitely needed the exercise.
Tony.
It is such a beautiful day too. It's not too. I mean, it's very hot, but it's not as hot as it has been. We're gonna keep on trucking until we find us some good blueberries. My goodness, look at that back there. That's a lot of blueberries. How neat. Are you ready for the contractor to come so this can all be over with? Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Alrighty. This is, in case some of you didn't know, this is the kitchen. I haven't actually showed the house yet because
Look at the cooling mix.
it's kind of a disaster. And we were hoping not to jinx ourselves on what we are hoping to close on September 10th. So we're waiting on contractors to come and fix some things so that when the
from the kitchen, where is the cooler next? Like the tiny jar of the chicken.
I think it's in the cabinet with the chips. We're waiting for the contractors to come and fix things before the appraiser comes. So I've moved moved all the shelves and all that stuff around so that we can actually, so they can actually get to the things that they need to fix. We've been busy working on things in all the rooms, but this ceiling is supposed to, I mean, they were supposed to be here Monday, but it is Wednesday afternoon and I still haven't heard from him. This is supposed to be done before the appraiser comes on Friday. So all of this sheetrock and this ceiling here is coming down and being replaced and doing some mold remediation. This is the front room and we're gonna take a quick tour of the garden because I haven't been out there with you guys in a little bit, so I'm gonna get my cutters, my pruners, and we're going to take a walk out to the garden. But this room is going to look different. We are currently working on getting through the construction part. The contractors fixing the ceiling and that spot there is a hole, and that spot there, the sheetrock is peeling back, and then there's like a tiny crack from water damage. We had a leak in the air conditioner unit in the top of our closet for this side of the house. So there's a tiny bathroom, and then we did some decorating this weekend. I had to move everything from in this room on to, to this side. So everything is stacked up in here and packed up in here, so that we can, so they don't have to cover so much while they're doing the construction work. But that whole ceiling will be replaced and then repainted. The kitchen where the roof had leaked before they replaced it at the beginning on October, that spot's going to be cleaned up and fixed and repaired. So we're gonna step outside so I can show you guys what my flowers are looking like and see what we've been working on. Sounds to me like the neighbors are mowing, so I might have to wait. I was trying to beat the rain because when I came out earlier it was pretty nasty looking, and it's still pretty nasty looking out here. But let's start with those. See, I planted gladiolas here, and then those are the dinner plate dahlias are starting to come up, and that is a hollyhock right here. That's the hollyhocks, but you can see two little seedlings coming up. Those are pumpkins for Halloween. I'm hoping those will turn out well. So I might have to put this off for just a minute until he's done mowing, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so the tomatoes are almost done, and they were helped along by hornworms and I don't know, aphids. I think I got aphids is what did them in. The cucumbers, these are the pickling cucumbers, they're starting to die back, some of them, and then some of them are just starting to take off. So these are going to come out. So I've already planted near or between the tomatoes. I've got some more pumpkins coming, planted, like the pumpkin seeds I put out, about a week ago. Those should be starting to pop up. Now, what I planted here was cucumbers and watermelon. What I'm getting is, cantaloupe and watermelon. We got like 4 really, really good cantaloupes, but now we're just getting all these little tiny, they look like cucamelons. Like, I didn't plant cucamelons, and they are a thing, but we haven't got any. They look like cantaloupe leaves, with watermelon plant with watermelon fruit on them. But they look like cucamelons, and when you cut them open, they smell like cucumber, but they're really kind of bitter. I'm not a fan. We do have like a couple of 2 or 3 little watermelons. The last 3 that we actually saw that were starting to grow, they got some kind of end rot or blossom end rot or something. I don't know. There's one. We pulled the other 3 out. There's one that started, and then I can see like 2 or 3 more in here, but what you see under the little trellis is all these little teeny tiny watermelons, and they're super cute. I mean, they're cute on the trellis. I like them. They're pretty, but I don't know if I can eat them because they're kind of bitter once you cut them open, and I'm not really sure exactly what they are. But check out these nasturtiums. I threw some nasturtium seeds in here, and they're doing really good on this side. And those are gladiolas that are making a comeback. This nasturtium is like shot up. I can't wait to see what this guy does. Let's come back over here because that's kind of obnoxious. When we did the flowers, I put all these zinnia, cosmo, marigold, you know, all the good pretty flowers. I put all those out here, and they're starting to bloom finally. They've grown really, really well, and they're starting to bloom finally. Now this, again, there's a couple of them you'll see dotted around this area, because in the fall, when the flowers start to die back, we're still gonna have some giant pumpkins. But with the rain threatening, I'm gonna try and get through this. Those cucumbers are starting to die back. Once those are done, and we pull those out, I'm gonna put the cabbage and broccoli, cauliflower, you know, the brassicas. We're gonna put the cold plant, or the fall plants, the cold plants, there where the cucumbers are, so that I can keep an eye on them. And up close, we're hoping that they won't get eat up. But these are the marigolds, and then I had to take out the butternut squash and zucchini because they didn't survive the squash bug apocalypse. But I did find that butternut are more resistant to squash bugs, so when I pulled the zucchini up and treated for the squash bugs, I planted, these are all butternut, I believe. Those are all butternut squash. In the middle, we have second crop radishes. In the end, we're still waiting on those carrots to get big. And this is the lone surviving jalapeno. But you can see a little better. I need to get over there and weed eat that area because you couldn't get back there with the mower. But we have an issue with my Mandevilla. It looks like the left side, the aphids got it, and then the treatment that I gave on the right side seems to have worked on the aphids, and it's growing a lot better. So I'm still hopeful that maybe I can salvage part of that, but whatever. And we cleaned this one out the other day. I gave my friend Jolene the lettuce that was growing in here, since it wasn't enough for all of us, but it was plenty for them. The basil here is doing so good. There's the Thai basil on the end with the red stems, then the cinnamon basil, the sweet basil, and the purple basil. And back here we also have parsley. That is cilantro starting in the very back. I probably should rotate it. And then dill in the very middle. The hydrangeas are still holding on. I'm waiting for closing because all these nasty bushes are going to disappear, and then I'll be able to put the hydrangeas and stuff in the ground. There is my banana, string of bananas, brain fart. And look how great these plumerias are doing. That one from Lowe's, y'all remember when it was just a stick? Look at it now. It is doing so good. And this one that I've had for 2 years I've been waiting, it's finally got like flower spikes starting on it. I'm so excited about that. You can see right here, gonna have flowers finally. And then the blueberries are doing pretty awesome. The grapes are starting to go dormant, and so are the calla lilies over there. But they look healthy, and I know they're gonna come back next year. Check this guy out. How big is that plumeria? Isn't that beautiful? But all the blueberries are doing really good. The callas that are starting to die back, those are gonna go up here in the front in that bed. I'm gonna do behind here where those tomatoes are, that are actually still doing really well. They still have some pretty big fruit on them, and they've been less susceptible to the aphids. But those bushes behind there are going to come out, and that's where the hydrangeas are going to go. And then these bushes will come out, and that's where the Mandevilla in the very back, where the poles can support it. I'll do the Mandevilla in the back, and then in the front I'm going to put the callas. So like similar water tropical environment. But these are the tomatoes, and look how tall they are. Look how big those are getting. That bush is about to drive me crazy though. It's huge. So please pardon our mess we did. We mowed the other day, so they took all of the hoses and everything out. I need to clean that pot out because it's full of gladiolas that need to be cut back and then weeded. And these are the Cooper's Ice and Sedum. Still got the pretty purple babies coming out. And so I will probably throw the edging off of those that's spilling over into the pot before winter so they can reseed, and then come back bigger next year. These cucumbers tried to make a comeback. I see some of them are gone, but some of them are doing really good, like the ones on the very edges. And then on the back here, in preparation for fall garden, on the back side of this, I planted the jewel corn, the fall corn, and look how they're starting to come up. So the corn is starting to come up on the back side, because it's the back side of this whole bed is planted with the pretty Fiesta type corn. So those are going to do really good. They're starting to finally bud up. These guys are those are the sunflowers, and then in front of the sunflowers are beets, and in front of the beets are carrots. This is the deep water bed where I come out, and on top of the soaker hose, I also give them a good deep water when they need it. The peppers are doing so good. These are the yellow banana peppers. They're not hot peppers, they're sweet peppers, but those are banana peppers. And check out this okra. How awesome is that? That is about 3.5, 4 feet tall now. And Trinity and I have been picking okra, like for real, picking okra for weeks. It's starting to really shoot up. And you got to stay on top of it, because if you let it go even a day, you end up with giant okra. But on the back side of the okra, I've also planted more of the corn. So when the hot part of the summer is over with, those will come up. And the little nasturtiums on the end here are starting to come out, and they're doing really good, because they don't really like the hot part of the day, or they don't like the hot part of the season. So having those shaded by okra gives them a head start they're going to grow really well in the fall. And in doing so, we'll be able to have those in salads and stuff in the fall. The entire plant is edible. The flowers and the leaves of the nasturtium are edible. You could even use the roots for some things like tinctures and seasonings. But that's the front yard. I wonder if we should brave the goats back here. All right, and then you guys haven't seen the chicks in a while, so we'll show you what's going on with them. Again, pardon the mess, because we had to roll all the hoses up to mow because it was getting a little out of hand. We'll do. There we go. Try not to spill my coffee while I'm doing this, because gotta have coffee. The neighbor to the you know, the neighbor to our left was really, really sweet. He had this chicken coop out in the back behind his house, and he didn't have any more chickens because all of his got eaten or something. But we're gonna amend it. We're gonna shore it up a little bit and get it situated. We still have all the cedar trunks from the neighbor that cut down the tree over there on this side right there. It's on his property, but it's between our fences. I set this up with the goats so that they'd have a place to get out of the rain and shade and have a place to sit, because I do believe that Miss Butters is pregnant. And if she is pregnant, at the very latest, we should see babies on the ground by October 4th. So if she's pregnant by October 4th, we should see babies. We started putting together the garage in a box finally. You know, we've only had it for 4 years. And we finally started trying to get it together and realized we're missing like some parts. So there it is stood while we mowed around it. And I don't know if I showed you guys this the last time, but I did fence around the back porch here so that the goats would stop coming through the slats. But the chickens inherited the goat pen, and they're doing really good. These are the McMurray hatchery chicks. There's 19 of them, or 18 of them. Trudy's trying to eat my pants. There's 18 of those left. And then the girls that we hatched from eggs, well, girls, there's the 6. These guys don't ever leave each other's sides. They're literally like, they just hang out in the yard together, all 6 of them all together. There are 2, it looks like there's 2 roosters and 4 hens, 3 white and 3 dark. And the rooster over there is Piggy. If y'all remember when they started hatching and the little camera hog we called Piggy, the rooster right there is Piggy. And he is big and he is beautiful and he is such a sweetheart. And Miss Butters here, looking exceptionally wide today, hanging out on the milk stand, because even though we've built them, you know, a running barn over there with hay and all the creature comforts, they still sleep in the stinking chairs. But there is Miss Trudy, and she's getting so big. We do believe she is actually a why, thank you, Trudy, for, oh, and you too, Butters. Y'all just came behind here to do your business. Thanks for that. Okay, we know she's a La Mancha because of her ears and her stature and her face. And then Miss Butters over here. Miss Butters over here, who still has bad attitude, but she's getting there. She's sweet and she's getting there, but she's starting to swell up pretty good. So anytime between now and October 4th, I think we're going to have some babies. The chicks are enjoying being outside, and they have been since that first, you know, we brought them out that first to get them acclimated, and then we got them off the back porch because I was just done with scraping, pooping, hosing down the concrete on the back porch. That's where the tree fell and hit the fence. So we're still, all the wood is still over there, and we're still trying to clean that up. And then been trying to clean up around the yard as much as we can, because they're just, you can't see anything. That's good. I mean, we got plenty of privacy. Our neighbor is wonderful. We adore him. He and his children have been so sweet. And then, you know, we still have this mess to contend with because we haven't finished the storage shed over here, the garage in a box. We haven't finished it yet, so there's that. And I guess that about does it, because it feels like it's starting to sprinkle, and I'm starting to get wet. I'm going to take my coffee and we're going to go inside. At some point in the future, once I get this chicken coop built up, because it's in really good shape. It's made out of cedar. It's holding up really, really well, and I think it's a good size. What we're going to do probably is take the thick hardware cloth and line the bottom of it and raise the coop up off of the ground so they have airflow underneath, There's all these doors on this side open, and that'll give them airflow underneath, and then we'll have their little ramp to the run area so that when they come outside, they have, you know, they sleep in the coop at night, but then they come outside to, you know, scratch and do their chickeny business. But I think they're gonna like it. It's super cute. Yes, Miss Trudy, I love you, you sweet girl. But well, that's basically where we stand on progress right now, and it is a hot mess. It's a wreck. We've been moving things around so that repairs can be done, so that we can pass the inspection, so that nothing gets delayed. So hopefully, I'm so excited. In September we are finally going to be homeowners. But in the meantime, while we're all holding our breath and waiting on that, and crossing our fingers and trying to be cautiously optimistic, I'm going to leave you guys with some very, very pretty zinnias. You guys have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.